Environmental activist group NextGen Climate PAC has a new ad in advance of the upcoming midterm elections that's attempting to put a face to the movement that is currently jeopardizing our climate by denying climate change. Let's watch that and then do some commentary.
They told us the world was flat and insisted it was the center of the universe. They ignored pollution, said that cigarettes were harmless, that leaded gas was safe, and there was nothing wrong with CFCs. Now they tell us climate change is a hoax. Some powerful people want to hold us back, but the truth is undeniable. This is a fight we will win.
NextGen Climate Action Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Okay, so here's the problem with that commercial. It doesn't tell me how it's going to affect me. It doesn't make me want to do anything. It's like, oh, there's this issue that rich people are fighting about. Who gives a fuck? Tell me how it affects me right now. And how it affects you right now is that your tax dollars are going for bombs to land in the Middle East right now. And we're going to stay there forever. And that's how climate change is affecting you right now. That's how it's affecting you.
Yeah, I agree. The ad, although they have great intentions, was not that effective.
At all.
At all.
I couldn't care less about it.
It used some powerful language in the beginning when they compared it to people who thought that the earth was flat and tobacco companies saying that cigarettes are healthy. Like, okay, it's good to make those comparisons, but you're right. You have to find a way to connect it to people on an individual level, right? On a personal level.
They need a Willie Horton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They need something like that that makes you have an emotional reaction,
right?
And makes you like a call to action, and that's not it.
But I will go ahead.
It's intended to express. I mean, there might well be that they have a longer version of the ad. Generally, these ads will have multiple versions depending on the ad buy. But I think it's intended to portray one idea. The people who are saying it's a hoax are backwards. They're yokels, just like all these other yokels that you saw as you were growing up who were wrong about cigarettes, who were wrong about all that stuff. I mean, I think that other ads can get into, as you say, and I think it would make great sense to show the sort of human cost of climate change. But I think that fighting back against the conservatives who constantly say scientists are lying to you, it's a big hoax, they're making money off of it, to do a bit of that back at them, I think is not a bad call too.
You gotta punch them in the mouth, right? Like you have to do what Republicans are really successful at doing. They are masters at marketing, whereas progressive organizations and democratic organizations seem to be a little weaker in their messaging. But I will say this, if that doesn't depress you enough, right? Really interesting numbers in this article about the organization. It's called NextGen, right? So NextGen Climate PAC actually donated over $50 million in both state level and congressional races for the midterm elections, right? So you're like, whoa, $50 million. All right, well, if we have money in politics, let's at least try to use it in our favor. The Koch brothers could spend between $250 and $290 million this year in the midterm elections.
Yeah, that's amazing. But I'm actually dismayed by both of them. So this group, NextGen Climate, is being mainly funded by Tom Steyer, who is a Democratic billionaire. He gives tons of money. He's the single biggest spender in this election. And so look, if the Koch brothers are giving as much money as they are, and they are, and it's terrible, I guess we have to fight back under the system that exists, but I don't want billionaires on either side single-handedly swaying the election.
No, in a perfect world, we wouldn't have this issue of money in politics. wolf-pac.com. Okay?
Yes,
exactly.
But under the current system that we have now, if we can use it to our advantage, fine, let's use it to our advantage. But the thing is, the point that I'm trying to make is, we don't even come close when it comes to multi-billionaires like the Koch brothers. They control our entire political process. So going out there and voting is important, but at the end of the day, it doesn't make that much of a difference when you consider how much money influences the actions of these politicians.
So why can't they find a clip of, like a bunch of clips of people who were in the back pocket of the tobacco industry back when they were still trying to, say tobacco didn't kill you, and remember they were saying, well, the science isn't in. I remember I was watching a 60 Minutes thing as a kid when, and they had a spokesperson come on 60 Minutes to talk about how there's no conclusive proof that chewing tobacco causes oral cancer. The science isn't in. It's not there. So why don't they have those? Like, if they had 10 of those clips and then showed 10 of these morons talking about climate change, oh, the science isn't clear, it's bad, and just do that, show that they're. Don't say they're doing the same thing. Show how they're doing it.
That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I was an advertising major for no.
Were you really?
Yes, I was. I got my degree in.
I don't see why we couldn't put that together. JR, can you get on that, please?
I need some.
In time for the election, though, it's important, as I say.
I need an intern.
Exactly.
To do that,
yeah,
right? And then I would also need a guy to help me or something.
Yeah. No, I think that would be awesome. Of course, I mean, the idea is that something like that would get people to be interested enough to actually want to learn about the science, because simply drawing the parallel by itself doesn't prove anything, but it does at least establish a pattern that there's always more money, on the business end. There's always more money in attacking a country than in trying to get peace. There's always more money in destroying the environment than in protecting the environment, which is unfortunate. But we should make that, put it on the internet.
I think so. I had a major in advertising and a minor in my dorm room. Listen, the point of...
Oh my goodness.